former NFL defensive back Tyvis Powell, talking about the Browns quarterback situation for 2026.
You go with a quarterback in the 5th round or 4th round or whenever, one of those late rounds, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're essentially doing exactly what you did last year. And I think that's kind of insane to do, but I get it. You do need to make some change to the quarterback room, whether that's just bringing in a veteran, bringing in a regular or not a freshman, a rookie. Like, I get those things. But to me, the focal point has to be on probably Shedeur Sanders, like whoever's going to be the one. I mean, or unless you think Deshaun Watson can give you that chance, which to me, I just don't understand what you're doing with that. Like, if Deshaun Watson goes out and plays well, do you re-sign him? I doubt it. So, like, what would be the whole point of that? And then it's like getting you further away from where you need to be or the truth to know where your franchise is going. So, I think to me, you got to play the Shedeur, good or bad. You just got to play it and let it ride out that way.
Pete, I don't disagree with playing Shedeur, but I 100% agree with Deshaun Watson. If he goes out and plays, you're probably not going to re-sign him. What are your thoughts about, and we've talked about this guy, Geno Smith's starting to make more and more sense.
Yeah, bring it on. Look, my whole thing with Shedeur Sanders is I'm not against him. I just want him to go out and prove it against a real quarterback. And the husk of Deshaun Watson's not doing anything for anyone at this point. So if you bring in a guy like Geno Smith, who's played really good football, or Jacoby Brissett, or Jameis Winston, these are all guys you could come out there. And if Shedeur is able to beat those guys, you can at least sit there and go, that's a legitimate quarterback, and Shedeur was able to beat him out, which would give you confidence, give the locker room confidence that he's ready to make that step forward. I 1,000% agree with Tyvis's point on drafting a quarterback. You just did 2. And this is not a good class for quarterbacks. And maybe there's some weird scenario where there's some quarterback they just cannot resist in the 5th round. But you're arguably taking another quarterback in the same neighborhood in a worse class. There's less talent there. So use those assets to get other things. You clearly have other things to worry about. But I just want Shedeur to be put in a situation where he's got to go out there and fight for it. And I don't think that's an unreasonable expectation. And if he can't win or he's not ready this second, the Browns can't just go into this season being like, well, we'll see you in 2027. Like, we can't keep doing this where we're like, well, we're just going to throw away another season. Like, you're selling your locker room, you're selling potential free agents that you are trying to win and play good football. So give them credibility in that locker room. Geno Smith's certainly my favorite option. I think he can win if you give him the right supporting cast. But yeah, anything to make Shedeur get out there and win the job is ideal.
Are there any of the younger guys that you think would be beneficial at least to bring in? And I'm talking about Richardson, Murray, you know the names.
I have zero interest in Anthony Richardson. Unserious quarterback on a team that needs serious people. It took himself out of game for being tired. Like, I just cannot see Todd Monken going, yeah, this is the guy I want. For Kyler Murray, I just don't see why he'd want to come here. There are going to be options out there, I think, that just make more sense for him in terms of being successful. And he's got to try to recoup his career. So if he's just sort of looking at the landscape, I don't think he's going to look at the Cleveland Browns right now because the Cleveland Browns have work to do. That's going to be the rest of free agency. That's going to be the draft. And for these free agents, it's hard to sell them on this vision of what could be. They need to see stuff now. So if you're Kyler Murray, you may look at Pittsburgh right now and go, okay, DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman and all these tight ends, yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Or, going to the Colts if they're still waiting for Daniel Jones to sort of recoup from his injury and saying, I'll just go win the job. Like, there are just better situations for him.